Mr. Yenni, welcome back to the show. Although I had promised myself you wouldn't be allowed back.
Absurd. I am the Honorable Mayor Mike Yenni. I am here to educate you. Sorry I am in my workout clothes, but I have been hitting the gym hard. My Jordish jeans hit the big 4-0. If you catch my drift.
Fine, let's try to stay on point today and answer my questions directly.
Listen, Missy, I am under strict instructions from my confidant Greg Buisson to answer your direct questions as indirectly as possible. Luckily for you, I'm not totally sure what that means. So I must indirectly be direct.
Wow, 1 minute in and I am frustrated. The first issue I want to address is the most recent Kenner scandal, which is your refurbishing your uncle's 21-year-old vehicle.
Yes, well, I don't understand what the fuss is. I'm the mayor. So I spent a few thousand on a 21-year-old car. Big deal.
It's a big deal because of the impudent use of tax money. But first, isn't it true that this car once belonged to your late uncle?
It surely did. How lucky I get to keep it. Oops, I didn't know it was my uncle's. That's what Greg Buisson told me to say. I did not know it was my uncle's. He made me repeat it 3 times to make sure I didn't mess it up. The fact that they held it in storage for 17 years, and donated it when I became mayor, was just a coincidence.
Is that really your story? You do realize that sounds ridiculous, right?
Well, it is better than the first story I came up with, when I tried to say it had historical value. I had to change it to the I didn't know story. My political consultant, who makes me jealous because he gives more comments to the press than I do, said the story would work better.
Fine. Stick with that story, it sounds really believable. The second problem is that you produced approximately $2,200 worth of bills that were paid with tax dollars.
I realize that. If they knew what I really spent, imagine how mad they would be. But I am the mayor.
What do you mean, sir?
If they looked at the receipts I gave them, they would see that they don't include labor. Not to mention I had some illegal lights put in that weren't on the bills.
Seriously?
Oops, I went off script. Greg Buisson is going to be mad. What I meant to say is that I showed them everything I felt was necessary. And I didn't know it was my uncle's car. In fact, like my confidant Greg Buisson, I think they should have legislation to ban public record requests anyway. I'm the mayor. I am. Did you not see my picture at the entrance of every door on every floor at City Hall?
You know, I think people would understand why you want the vehicle, since it belonged to an uncle that was so important to you that you changed your middle and last name to be the same as his, despite the fact that he already had a son with that name. Nevertheless, your stalking of your uncle is obvious, so I think people would expect that you would also want to drive his car just as you stole his name. What makes them mad is the fact that you keep denying you even knew it was his, and you used the taxpayers' money to pay for it.
What do you want me to say? If I would have bought it myself, I would have to pay for the repairs. Why would I do that when the taxpayers can pay for it? I just made the largest loan in Kenner history. We can afford it. Me, however, I am broke. I have spent all my money on gym memberships and sears-sucking suits, so I can dress exactly like my uncle. Looking like this ain't free, Missy.
Unbelievable. Anyhow, just shortly after that scandal broke, you went on the news attacking Councilman Carroll for using his city vehicle to drive to his job in New Orleans.
I know. I got him good, didn't I? But Carroll had it coming. Making all this noise about me wanting to take out streets around the cemetery in his neighborhood. Then people getting all riled up because I wanted to block a few graves. Big deal. So he had to be taught a lesson. Either shut up or I will have you on the news for any ridiculous thing I can. Remember, I told you last time, I am not a racist. I voted to change the Ole Miss mascot online. Fight. Fight.
The receipts and expenses you showed relative to his car were approximately $4,200. Had he taken the stipend as the other council members do, it would have been $6,500. In doing the simple math, he saved the taxpayers money.
Look here, Missy, I was no math major in college. I studied poli-sci and constantly researched my uncle. So I did not do the math.
Fine, I'll do it for you. It's ballpark $2,000 he saved the taxpayers.
You're a show-off, with all that multiplication.
Sir, there can be no reason to attack Gregory Carroll for that car, when he is permitted to use it while working for Orleans Parish, where he is helping former inmates find employment, and ended up saving the taxpayers more money.
Well, except for the obvious. His voting pattern. I mean, his constituents don't want high taxes, so he votes against it. They don't want high sewage fees, so he votes against it. They don't want their parks closed, so he votes against it. They don't want the largest loan in Kenner history, so he votes against it. I mean, what am I going to do? Let him keep doing the right thing and making me look stupid? Oh no, I can't have that. We devised this beautiful plan to put him on the news. Bait and switch, baby.
Let's move on, as we will never agree on that one. You've mentioned this loan, the largest in Kenner history, at $47 million. I have reviewed your 2030 plan, and basically it appears that we will be getting a bike path, some palm trees and artwork, for our $47 million. Am I missing anything?
Well, you have missed the obvious. Besides the artwork and palm trees, most of my friends will be getting large contracts to research and develop strategies to implement and plant the trees. It is millions of dollars for many of my campaign contributors. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
What? You are making the largest loan in Kenner history, most of which your contributors are benefiting from, and we are getting palm trees for our $47 million. At some point, do you not have any conscience at all?
Oh yes, I was knocked unconscious once. Bad night in college. You stare too long at another guy in the locker, and this kind of thing can happen to you too.
What could you possibly be talking about? Please stay focused. Do you really believe that $47 million worth of palm trees and art is the best thing for our city?
Absolutely. How else am I going to raise enough campaign contributions to help me win at the parish seat, which is where I am destined? Woohoo!
Wow. Just really, wow.
Me at the parish. Go Mike. Yay! It's your birthday.
Forget it. Since talking about issues is not your strong point, let's move on to this last article in the Times-Picayune. They talk about the Citizens for a Better Kenner stressing you out so much that you are binge eating and having to go to the gym twice a day.
Citizens for a Better Kenner ellipsis yuck. That Walt Benetti.
Sir, you insist that group has no impact on you. That they have not made changes for the better in Kenner. Yet, in the same article, you talk about how they stress you out so much that you were binge eating. Explain that?
Oh, I can explain it. Binge eating is when you eat because you were freaking out about something else they uncovered. When it was obvious that they knew about my uncle's car, I was scarfing hot sausage and ding-dongs like nobody's business.
But?
No. Missy, you don't understand. Have you ever eaten 2 pounds of ding-dongs in one day? It is nothing nice. Though I must say, I was relieved that Ed Muniz had spent $30,000 on the new crapper in my office. It got some use that day.
Sir, I'm not interested.
I don't blame you. It was life-changing. Anyhow, you can find me at Reginelli's and Tutti Frutti's several times a week.
What does that have to do with the Citizens for a Better Kenner?
Well, they are taking away time from the city.
How?
They are causing me to binge eat like a lunatic. I haven't had this many ding-dongs since my Jesuit days. It reminds me of that time I won the hot sausage eating contest in college. Boy, were my frat brothers proud about how fast I could put that sausage down. I love me some hot sausage. Anyhow, I am having to go to the gym twice a day. Want to see my abs?
Indeed not.
Anyhow, I am getting some cardio in twice a day. I turn on It's Raining Men and get my groove on. I realize I have a new wife, and a baby due in the next 5 minutes, 6 city vehicles that I need to drive, and run the city. I mean, I'm on NOLA all day and night, stocking anything to do with my uncle, and then add in hours of binge eating. Did I mention that I love ding-dongs? Then add stressing out because of Walt Benetti. It's exhausting.
Amazing.
Look, there's no need for sarcasm. I want you to eat a pound of Tutti Frutti, a box of Fruit Loops, a big banana, 4 Twinkies, 2 pounds of hot sausage, and a mouthful of ding-dongs. You would be exhausted too. And all because of that Walt Benetti and his gang of watchdogs.
Sir.
No, I'm serious. Have you seen me from behind? It's a train wreck back there. I might sue Walt Benetti for my gym membership.
But who has time for twice a day?
I do. I do my squats while I listen to Celine Dion, then sit in the steam room with the other fellas, if you know what I mean.
I'm afraid I might, so please do not elaborate.
Then, I go home. This job affords me lots of free time.
Mr. Yenni, after trying to triple our taxes, increasing all of the business fees, tripling our sewerage fees, and making the largest loan in Kenner history, do you really think Kenner can afford to have you in office?
It's in the bag. I've already lined up all my political endorsements. Name someone. I bet my political consultant Greg Buison already has them on lockdown. I'm a sure thing.
I'm not so sure that people will vote that way. I wouldn't just vote no to you. I would vote hell no.